Okay, so step one. I always start with the cast shadow, which is a really squished ellipse. So I start, if this is a clock, I go a little further out than 6 o'clock, like maybe almost a 7 o'clock. And then I create a curve, but then I try to go, you know, straight across. Okay? And then go up to maybe like 5 o'clock and try to close it off. So remember that cast shadows are darkest at where they touch the object. So the white is a little waxy, so we don't want that to interfere. I will take a little cap eraser and kind of lighten up the wax on my circle. I might have to do that again. But the next thing that I do is I will outline the very edge, because that's the darkest part of my cast shadow. I'm using the PC933, this first one on the list there. I kind of want to take a little bit of this off. Okay, remember that your cast shadow is darkest where it touches the base of the object, and then it slowly tapers out and just fades thinner and thinner, or lighter and lighter, just thinner layers. I will add a little bit of green to that later. All right, next step. Starting around like 9 o'clock, maybe a little lower, we're going to go up between 12 and 1, and we're going to create this kind of Y shape that curves around. So this is like a half of a heart at the bottom. And I'm just creating a really subtle map. Do y'all see how light that is? We don't want this to look like a baseball or tennis ball or anything with the lines being permanent. So I'm just marking where my core shadow, I don't want the white wax to interfere. Okay, so this is going to be the dark between 12, almost 1, all the way down to like 4 o'clock. That's where it's going to be the darkest, and this is going to be the lightest. So that marks where our blue zone is going to be. So if you do a hard line marking the darkest side of the sphere, this is a shiny surface with a reflective light. So I want you guys to shade in small burnished circles and thin layers so that you have more control. And the more sharpened your pencil is, the more detailed your blending will be. I'm just adding a really thin layer of blue into this mapped out area. I will add more blue, but I'm going to switch to the grass green next. So that is step 1. Make sure your grass green is nice and sharp. Alright, I'm going to do a complete overlay, just second layer on top of all of it, like medium pressure in the cast or in the core shadow. And then I'll taper this out, gradually lighter values into the mid-tone. So just a review, I did a layer of the PC933 in this curved shape from 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock to down to 5 and 6 o'clock. And now I'm layering the grass green on top and small little circles, burnishing. And then I'm slowly going to work that up into that apple green, the PC912. Keeping the highlight round, and then I do like to do a little bit of the grass green up to kind of close off the sphere. I kind of closed it off a little bit right here, and it's just really thin, just feathering it on there, because we're going to blend the other color on top. Oops, there is something under my paper here. I had a little dark spot. And then if you have a heavy white wax on the edges, just take it off. If the white pigment is super bright, it will glow a little bit. Some sphere work. Okay, so going back, I did a thin layer and with a heavier, like medium pressure in the shadow, really light pressure going out. But now, just for fun, I'm going to add another core shadow. We've got to darken the core shadow over here. The darkest part of the sphere gets another layer. Okay, so now core shadow, building up, just more layers. I went out a little further than I would want at the bottom right here, but that's okay. I'll try and blend it with the True Blue on the top coat. So I am being a little heavy-handed on the farthest side away from the light source. And I'm going to blend this band of blue back out. Okay, now I feel like that layer really is creating a hard edge right here, so now I'm going to reblend a little bit more green, and then I'm going to switch to the apple green because we've got to pull the highlight, the transition from the midtone into the highlights. Because what's underneath will always show to the top. I'm applying a little bit more pressure here in the darker area of the shadow with the green. This is the green. Dark grass green. Okay, I'm going to start with the apple green for a mid-tone highlight transition. I'm going back into the dark green. So notice that I'm keeping this highlight area round, like I'm going all the way around. think my reflective light at the bottom is a little dark. I forgot to add the green to the cast shadow. Okay, now that I'm at a certain point, I think it'd be fun to use the True Blue, the 903, to kind of blend midtones and give it a little bit more depth. Okay, I'm gonna pause this and come check.
What would be the chat mic?